Hey, everybody. Yes, I'm early. Do you ever get tired of waiting? I think I'm that guy. I was told years ago growing up, if you're not early, you're already late. Give me a moment. I'm still getting my screen set up. Hi, Instagram folks. Um, I know, right? We're going to have fun. Going to have so much fun. All right. Hey, everyone drop in the chat. Say hello, right? Where you from? What you got going on? Um, we've got 45 minutes, maybe an hour or so, hanging out, doing stuff like we always do. Hello, everyone. Namaste. Maliaro siya kala malia tariaro taro shiro to kono to kashine puyo to. Papashiki tao materiari tariano to shato te kapayata. A lot of names here I'm familiar with, right? We have so many folks that show up for these lives, that show up for the events on Wednesdays, right? Um, for those of you that aren't familiar with me or that process, the more that you show up, whether it be on social media or my events or whatever, but the more of that light language you pull in, the more that you shift, right? The more of those energy distortions leave your body and those good things come in. And today we're going to do some of that stuff, right? And the topic of this is, why love feels so hard. Why does it feel so hard? Been there, right? Though we've all been there, whether it be with relationships of friends and family and those good relationships. So cool. Yeah. So I just a comment in here. Last night was epic. So last night was a self-worth event. Um, that was so cool. So much energy flowing through that event. Quite a few people, were feeling it, right? So, all right, we'll give it just another moment here. Let a few more to show up, and then we'll get started. Yeah, I love doing this. Like it's funny. So again, if you guys have known my story, I used to be an extreme introvert, never been social media, right? Didn't want to answer emails, didn't want to do anything. Like I created 3 cybersecurity companies. I wrote patents. I did all these wonderful things, but I would never answer an email from a customer without having that anxiety inside of me. And now look at me, right? Hanging out with you guys, no anxiety, ready to rock and roll. Yeah, I like this new version of me. So, all right. So let's yeah, Mr. Brian McKay. So let's go ahead and we'll get started. I don't want to waste too much time. Obviously, it's on replay. But so first of all, glad you're here. Like seriously, glad you're here. So, you know, not quite a big agenda today. I try to keep these simple. This is an opportunity for me to connect with you guys, right? Watch the chats, try to interact the best I can as the chat just flies by. But I have a difficult time doing that. I'm in normal Zoom events and things like that. So this is fun for me. But I just wanted to open a simple space around love. This is not romance advice. Do not take romance advice from me, right? It's not how to fix your relationship either, right? Just love is something the body can either hold or can't. And me and the team deal in frequencies. We don't deal in stories. We don't deal in therapy, so to speak, right? We're not going to tell you how to move from one relationship to the next or how to remove one or move into the next. It's not really about that. It's about shifting your energetic field, which aligns you to that version of love defined by you. That makes sense. So again, right, pop in the chat. Where's everyone tuning in from, right? So I will tell you, I see it a lot, right? People want love. Everybody wants love, whether it be love for themselves or love for others. But, when it actually arrives, that closeness, the tenderness, right? The being seen, you tighten, right? You get a little nervous. You get a little concerned, right? You let your guard down, or you don't want to let your guard down, right? It's hard to accept that frequency of love in its fullness, right? So just out of curiosity, in the chat real quick, does love feel steady for you or like spiky, like up and down, or is it pretty like normal, like everyone's in bliss and love? I'm just kind of curious, how that shows up for folks. I'm guessing very few of us have a steady, consistent feeling of love, right, in our lives, in any consistent area in our lives. Yeah, spiky. Absolutely. Most people here, right? Independent per relationship. Great. Cool. So the way I see it is love isn't just an emotion that comes and goes. Love behaves more like a coherent, organizing frequency, right? When it's present and stable, It brings coherence in without force, right? Things just show up. You let things flow when it's there. But when it's inconsistent or overwhelming, it isn't that love failed. It's that your system receiving it isn't calibrated to hold it as a stable state, right? Up and down, in and out, right? You hold it and then you release it. And these are due to a lot of different things in your field itself. And we'll do some channeling on that in a little bit to see how that shows up. I do want to mention real quick here, for those of you that are interested and do follow me, on Sunday the 15th, I have my big event of the month. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's a 2-hour event, right? And this is the Love Potion number 9. I'm not going to get into it, right? You can go to kenlloydofficial.com. You can see it up there. But if you really want to work on the energetic field of love across all the different topics, love for you, love for others, so on and so forth, that event might be something you want to look into. So, again, it's a longer transmission devoted to restoring love. That's something the nervous system and your relation field can actually hold without effort. All right. Moving on. Let me just check my chats real quick here. Arizona, California, narcissists. Oh, yeah, I know, right? The UK, love is risky and painful, so you block it. So you'll go with spiky. Destabilizing, avoiding relationships for several years, right? Due to all the trauma and protection out there. Yeah, I get it. I got some from Fresno. We got people, showing up tomorrow. Yada, yada, yada. A lot of jealousy from females. Everyone has their situation with love, right? But I don't see anybody in here saying, hey, it's perfect. And it's okay, right? Again, ebb and flow, in and out. So what I want to do here is I just want to drop in a channel real quick. I had the team, the business team, right, which they're in the chat, help me with some of these questions. Like, what do people really want to know? So the first question we'll do here is, why do people sometimes push away or pull back from love even when they genuinely want it? And what is actually happening inside in those moments? As he's already said, love is a frequency that ebbs and flows. It is not a single frequency like a dial where you just set it and forget it. It doesn't happen like that. When you want to talk about love, you want to talk about how other things are impacting it, right? You can look at the idea of someone showing up at that high frequency of love, but then you look at an action or a reaction to a certain situation, and your love for them will wane and move and change. Your perceptions of what's happening on the outside affect the energetic field on the inside. The other thing is, as you move deeper into love, you begin uncovering layers of frequency distortions inside of you. Now, these may be distortions that relate to something ancestral, past life, trauma from a childhood, and so on and so forth. So as you get deeper into that frequency of love, as you move deeper into that relationship, defined as any type of relationship as you want, you'll uncover those layers that have been hidden, those layers of distortion. Some people call that shadow work to remove it. But ultimately, it's just an energetic frequency, what we call energy interference. And when you tap into that, when you pull out that energy interference, that blockage, that molasses, that slowness in your field, it allows you to vibrate higher and to move through those dense moments so you can, again, embrace the idea of that love frequency. So what's going on inside of you? Shifts and changes. You're trying to figure out what's happening outside of you with your eyes, with your ears, with your sensational touch. But what's happening on the inside of you is your soul is trying to figure what's happening on the energetic level. Your egoic mind also plays a very large role in either allowing or blocking or even creating distortions itself. Remember, your egoic mind is designed to protect you from harm. What's the easiest way for a human to be harmed? It's by allowing love in only to be hurt later. And this happens to us. This happens to us all. The beginning of a relationship and the end of a relationship, right? So the egoic mind is there to test and to prod and to poke and to block, and then eventually to allow, but it's always on the guard. So that's the answer to the channeled question. And I'm going to repeat that question for those who were wondering. And the question was, why do people sometimes push away or pull back from love even when they generally want it? And what is actually happening inside of them in those moments? So that was the question that was just channeled. And just, drop in your comments and things. I got a couple more I'm going to do here though, right? So that was interesting. Again, the team sees everything as frequencies. So the next one here is, why do people keep finding themselves in the same types of relationship patterns or emotional dynamics, even when they consciously want something healthier or different? This happens to do with the idea of a path you've already traveled. We'll just say it like this. Once you create an energetic pathway to a specific spot, an emotional connection, if you will, it's easier to reach that path. Now, let's talk about the path. That doesn't mean the path's a healthy one. As we mentioned in the comments earlier, a path to a narcissist may happen over and over and over, right? So the point is you have the ability, we don't want to use the word ability, but the probability of attracting something you're already familiar with. Attracting something new requires you to shift your frequency inside of you. Understand that, right? You have a program inside of you that said, this is what I understand, this is what I relate to, and it shows up over and over and over. Now, you're doing the shadow work, you're doing the human work, you're saying, I no longer want that relationship. I no longer want that type of individual in my life. And while you search and you search and you search, and you believe you found something else, you find yourself moving back into those same patterns. You have to remove the distortion inside of you. As you all know, the reality outside shows up based on the reality inside. And when we are harmed, when we are hurting, when we have that emotional interference on the inside, it's going to show itself on the outside. Our reality reflects how we believe, what our belief systems are, even at an unconscious level. Now, those belief systems, if you will, at an unconscious level are influenced, again, from past lives, from ancestors, from other trauma, from external forces, if you will. Going into your field and removing those connections, cleaning, clearing, again, removing the energetic interference, as we call it, allows you to move into new energetic pathways. So that when you say, I want to show up for a relationship of this type, you no longer have to resonate with the relationship of the old type. This is why you see those patterns happening over and over and over. You know you don't want it, you know you don't want it, you know you don't want it, but where is it hidden in your field? Where is it hiding, and why is that there? This can be complicated for many trying to figure that out, right? They may spend years and years and years trying to figure out, well, this is something that happened to me as a child, or something that happened to me in life I didn't even know anything about. Again, all that energy is in your field. It's difficult to locate that, but not as difficult as you think. And the idea that when you look at everything as just energy, and you start utilizing new tools rather than old stories, you're able to get into the core of what's taking place and pull that out. We hope that made sense. So the team, when they channel, they don't channel really in-depth esoteric knowledge, right? They're not here to show up and tell you about all these other processes of the human. They're simply to tell you, again, everything is in your field, right? Now, how it got there is the question. The story of how it got there is what we used to play on all the time, right? The Akashic record readings, the past life reading, whatever these are, that says this is the reason I'm like I am, right? You don't need the story anymore. You just need to know where to go into your field and pull that energy out completely, right? Then it won't show up, and then you're able to shift and move through that, right? So, okay. Let me just check the chats here. Does everyone experience so much loss they begin to pull away from others to avoid hurt? Absolutely. That was actually regarding the egoic mind, right? The egoic mind will put those blockages up and make you pull away from everything, until you're able to recover and remove that denseness out of the field. So one more channeled question here. So what actually needs to change inside a person for them to feel safe being loved without feeling like they have to earn it, prove themselves, or worry about losing it? What needs to change inside of them is, once again, and finally again, is the energetic program in the field. When you step into a relationship with one of authority, we don't mean authority over the other. We mean authority of your own self, the authority of your own energy, the authority of knowing what it is that you want, how you want to receive it, and how you want to process it. When you step into that field with your own authority, everything else begins to shift around to recognize this is how it's going to have to show up. You don't have to sacrifice. You don't have to give in. You don't have to balance whether you like something or you don't like something. When it's in an absolute match for your frequency, everything's in harmonic. When you show up, when you've done the work, the energetic work to remove those barriers holding you down, one of the things he likes to use is the idea of the hot air balloon, right? When you remove the sandbags, the energy distortions, those blockages, those lower vibrational thoughts, emotions, and history, you're able to rise up to the point where love is exactly what you want and it shows up exactly how you want it. Now, we will say that does not mean every day and every moment's bliss, right? But overall, the feeling of love is stable. So authority within yourself, knowing is what do you want and doing the work to remove the things in your way, again, from the energetic standpoint. Okay. That be a couple of messages we want to channel, right? So just real quick here, drop one sentence. Of those three things there, what landed the hardest? Right? I am curious about your experiences, right? And I'm going to check that. I got some other messages over here. Well, I'm going to do some light language where I'm actually processing some notes as well. We're going to do some heart healing. One of this person's actually a heart organ needs healing. It's been through so much. Yeah. Well, guess what? We're going to be doing some activations soon, right? That's going to be next. Let me check this other chat room, see what's going on over here. What about past life vows? Okay, well, let's talk about contracts, vows. You know, hexes, vexes, curses, vows, contracts, you name it. So be done with them. You're like, what do you mean be done with them, right? It's energy in your field. Everything is energetic. And when you use certain tools, like I'll be releasing the Library of Creation at the LA Expo here soon, right? And in the Library of Creation, there's a place you can go. It's your room of contracts. And in there, you can see the contracts of those vows. And this person, message, what about past life vows? You can see the contracts in there and burn those contracts. Everything is available. Now, let me explain. As the collective frequency rises, as we move through the ascension, which we're all doing whether we want to or not, kicking and screaming, right? New tools, and the tools I have are from the divine. The new tools from the divine are coming down and say, you know what? You no longer have to worry about the karma or the contracts, or these past lives or the ancestral connection. The tools are coming down for you to break them and to break them now and break them in real time, to use a computer term, right? So yes, right? Drop the story as well. Just drop the story, right? You don't want to sit there and say, well, that past life vow is the reason I can't do this. And then you do it the next year, the next year, the next year. No, be done with it. Yes. So very, very, very cool. Let me see what else I've got going on here. Your body is out of balance, needs healing. Okay, that's fine. Hang out, right? This person here is looking for some physical healing, which is great. This is really about the love event. But when you show up and the light language happens, you're getting codes, right? You're getting codes every time you show up, no matter what the topic is. The same thing for my catalog. All the social media, those little 45-second clips I'm doing, you're getting codes to heal the body, right? You just have to show up to what resonates with you. So, yes, the more you show up for you, the more you get a chance to receive. And again, you don't have to pay money. You can do social media, or you can drop into the catalog and the events. And so there's so many things out there for you to begin shifting the energy. And again, when we talk about discomforts in the body, because we don't use medical terms, discomforts in the body, guess what? It's distortions in your field. You remove those distortions, your body naturally rises to a high vibrational state. Some people call that healed. So yes, move the field, your body recovers. All right. Thanks for all the comments there. We're moving right along here. Let's have some fun, right? Let's drop some codes. Now, there's nothing you guys need to do here, right? Seriously, just allow. And if you don't want these codes, just simply make the comment to yourself, I don't want these, I don't accept them, right? But the first one here, it's a coherence, right? We're going to let you love, that energetic love, stabilize the coherence in your field. And the way this works with me is I'll say a thing and I'll do a thing. So unless you're driving, just relax, close your eyes. And again, I lost my screen here. Again, when this is let love stabilize this coherence. Baleara Maya Toriara Shirata Kalena Malera Korea Shikoro Kona Balera Kaliari Shiritia, Kona Balariara Teria Shirta Korotish Konotica Kodika Lariata, Lele Malera Teria, Toria Shirator, Malera Torino Carashiro Tokanema Pocurito, Karama Balearato, Mamalero Toriaro Toria Shiratore Shirot Corrido Shikoro Konotica Malariatia, Konama Bariaro Shirot Korish Balera Malera Koramalera Shinatiariato. I'm going to go ahead and pull some energy out of your field. Open them up. We're going to go into the cellular structure. Balear ko shiro ko shikodo ko shikodo ko gara baleari galera shiro ko maliara galera shikodo ko gara balero ka malaria tariaro to ne malaria shiro to reshit kariaro no tari no correto mataro tara baleria Moliaro shiro ko shikodo ko shikodo ko balero kariaro shikodo ko gara balera galera kariaro ko shikodo ko gara balera kariaro ka malaria ta tar malaria shariaro to shiro ko shikodo ko gara balera ko shikodo ko gara malaria te shira nare malero ko riaro ko shikodo ko shikodo shiro ko malero shikodo ko gara balera malero ka malero shikodo gonna go back into the coherence. Now that we cleared your field a little. Shalom baleriano toriero tariara tirishiroto. Shalom bariara tariara tirishiroto koma kararoto. Orealo toriaro torishia natama karadara nishina tina tono toshiro toro rotirioto. Komashina tana dashinata kiloro con malero maleta. Orea maleta rishinata. Kurishino toro to kurishino torioto. Colma barashito kurapakiriti arieti to comuniato shinata. Very, very cool. So for those of you that haven't followed me before or aren't aware, that as the tones change, as the speed changes, there's other divine energies coming through the hollow bone to deliver things for anybody on live or the replay, right? So you'll hear those tones and those beats changes, and that's just different energies coming through for you, right? Again, some of you might find yourself emotional later. If you find yourself emotional, just let that purge out, right? It's just part of the purging. The next one is going to be nervous system calibration, right? So we're going to release bracing, hypervigilance, and your collapse when you're around closeness. And here we go. Shikut could be a tari at a carrier. They're just loosening up the energy in the nervous system. But it's good to go to Cormariato Rishita. Cariashariato Rishuto Cormarishinot and Rishinot Kuscarabia, Corishuto, Marco Marcamaro, Mano between the Pianeta, Nona, Manona, Manana, Nieta Carmoniata, Camacalano, Valeria, and Notica, Camanari, Letteriato, Cormariato, Comariato, Ariato, Rishuto, Shermalero, Ramalero, Carmalero, Shuruto, Camalero, Canusco, Malaria. They're actually going to release some really deep core belief systems right now that you can't express love, you can't experience love. There's so many of you that feel that. Oh my gosh, hold on. Grab that. Pariaro Corishino Torno Crabalera Caracas can pull those beliefs out. Mamalera Tariara and Shuro Pocule Torio going to the brain. Mariara Shiratariara Toriara Toriara Shirotocora de Balerico, Cormabalerica Cadetico Mariano Corishano Conosco Norica Malera Makiloto, Dariara Tariara Torishitoria. Mumaleana and the editor, Rishira, Tora, Rishira, to get rid of those thoughts, those looping thoughts. You're not enough. But you are enough. But you can have love. Mariaro Carmalero, Shuru, Camalero, Camalero, Carmalero, Camalero, Shuru, Corvetia, Cramalero, Carmalero, Camalero, Carashka, Medication, Camalero, Malero, Amalero, Cashono, Corabashcanero, Camalero, Manero, pulling your codes into your field. Sharamabari Aroto, Yanamayataroto, Sharamabokureto. La mamalea nieria natare nishi no tono shinatari. Koreano tore nahleria tore shin is calm that's coming over you. Mumbalere nietaro tore shiroto. Shinoto to shotota takari alma balariano tore nakalere shiroto. Ritoriar chikarapaki ropracarpri corpraki shiratia. Kurmalesha natalia rotore shinoto noto shinetao. Mamaleria roto makoria roto shinotoku. Shamoko. That was fun. That was real fun. Sorry. I get some visualizations and I get some of that stuff, right? So I definitely pop that in there, right? So there's a couple more activations here that we're going to do. Give me a second here. So the third one is dissolving old templates, right? Your boundaries, neutrality, your choice and connection, right? We're going to dissolve the old templates through the longing and intensity, the self-sacrifice, so you can receive. right? In a very balanced, high vibrational way. Old programming dissolving. Template. Overlay. Maliaro shiro your own overlay. Mariaro calera shire tariaro. Orioro shana kale maleriare tariaro. Kurishina kalamabakina de kishina tia tia. Anela malero no shao. Kurishina torre do shiro tomoto. Kurishina tikamaki. Kilelero shao kalema leriaro. All right. 2 more things I want to do here. Okay, one of my favorites is the heart trauma release, right? Just pull those things out of the heart that don't serve you anymore. No stories needed, no memories. Okay. Open their heart up. Release. Bariaro Koreshalali and Otoria Notoara Tirishin Taro Malero Torino Lirishuto no Kushinatu Namalana Malay Notoya no Shinuto de Shao Koro Tomayatao Kadishia Shalamalaria Rotona Shiruto. Let the purge happen. Bariaro Koreshalari Malero Toyo Tishinatakan in the Kaliro Karmatushin Tomatao Kiritin Malirica. Mamma more. Don't give up yet. Mariaro should go to open up wider. Spaces between the spaces, please. Release. Dorio should go to go and then finally, get rid of the hidden and suppressed. Even from them, please. Wider, further back. Deep wounds are releasing. And now that we pull that out, we want to replace it with something high vibrational, right? Hold on a second. Heart first. Let him malere shariaro con maleriare shiratoria toyata maria shalmaleriare shiriticaleria canamaria take shirita caliara tariara shirito shurmaleri tariar shalmalariara tora shirotoro no shintamao mamaleriare nidi shinotoro no shinotoro caleriara tora shinoto corbeto shinata camalero comarieta. Comalera shirutaka and malera maleshkurutukunushkutukunushkutukunushkutukunushkutukunushkitia, come Mariano, Ritore Shinotore, Mapakiro Shkaribiata, Kiriaro Tishiniata, Mariano Maleshiniata. So just real curious, right? So if anything softened, drop a heart, just drop it into the chat. What did you just experience? But listen, somebody also mentioned the astrologer told not to do something. Listen, that's a story. Use your discernment. Is that what you resonate with? Or are you able to move through it? Right. I also saw something in here regarding how do we know where that energy interference is, right? I've been talking about, the teams have been talking about it here since the chat started. You don't have to know, right? It's not a location. It's not a coordinates, right? When you show up and the team delivers a light language, they're going in there and they're pulling all of that distortion out at once, right? That just happened with the heart. So when you want to know where it's at, there are a couple things you can do. One, if you have a physical thingy, right? Again, we don't use medical terms. You can drop it and go to the catalog, right? There's a catalog. There's over 400 things in my catalog, right? Little 5-minute up to 1 hour clips of light language that's going to go into your field and remove those distortions for you, Very, very long, very, very amazing stuff, available whenever you want. But the other thing is show up for the events. I have 30-minute events that are actually, I'm rolling my eyes because I don't think I've actually done a 30-minute event. They're usually an hour event, right? Just because of the way it works, 45 minutes to an hour. Every time you show up, doesn't matter the topic. Your team, your spirit team, wants you to have something to heal or to activate or to turn on. Those come through me for you individually, no matter what's said. Bottom line is you just need to show up for yourself. And again, it doesn't have to be me. It can be anybody. But light language and those of us that have that ability to reach into your field, again, my marketing term is energy field architect. I'm able to see the energy in field and pull out those distortions. I'm sure others can as too, but find the one that resonates with you, right? So let's go to the so just real quick here, right? Some crying, right? What is showing on Ken's glasses? That would be the ring light, people. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to do my best to do the things. Tears of release, right? Cried like a baby, right? This is going to happen. You might find yourself again having an emotion release over the coming days, and you're not going to know why. You're like, my God, what happened to me? Why am I feeling like I did? It's okay. Nature, saltwater baths, whatever it is to ground you will help move that through your system, right? So, right. So what just happened here with those things, is kind of like the front door to that Love Potion number 9 event that I'm talking about, right? That event's 2 hours. It's 120 different things. We just did 6, 5, 4. I don't even know the number, right? But again, it's not trying to love better and it's not trying to fix the story. It's about shifting your field, right? Letting that love frequency reorganize so you can receive, right? Circulate instead of spike. Hope that makes sense. That's what this is about. February, right? Month of love. All right. So again, on the 19th, that transmission, we're going to move through different phases, like identity softening, nervous system calibration, relational field organization, initiation into that mature love frequency, right? And activations, right? So give me a second here. Let me check the chats out. There's some other things going on here. Then we're going to do some more stuff. So don't go anywhere. Mariano Shanata, we covered the distortions in the field. Mariano Karishinoto Miyoto Makao Ratano Shinoto Mayoto Shinoto Kurieta. Oh, by the way, that event that I'm talking about for the 15th is actually discounted right now. Like it's a love event, giving some love. I think the link's probably in the chat window right there. But if you go to KenLloydOfficial.com, go to my events, you'll see the Love Potion number 9. You'll see all my events there, right? So, cool. How are you guys doing? We still have some time. You guys want me to work on you? All right, here's the deal. I'll go through the chats. But you have something you want me to work on? Don't blow my chat up. Don't give me 15 things you want the team to work on. Give me one, right? And give it to me without any medical words. I don't do medical words, right? But I'm happy to help you here. Did someone here ask about the metastasis? Again, I don't do words, right? Spreading to your lungs, near your heart, kidneys, and right hip. All right. I can't give you a cause and I can't give you a cure, but I'll give you some codes to move some frequencies. Keeps me out of legal trouble. You know who you are. Hold on a second here. Lungs, heart, kidneys. Hold on a second here. We're going to do your lungs and heart first. Contract's being released. Timelines altered. Dissolve. kidneys. By you're all receiving, by the way, not just this individual. Dissolve, but magic on that. Three contracts, dissolve, rebuild, the other one, sadness, childhood trauma. Released, two contracts, one ancestor, dissolve, to release, right hip. Rebuild. Okay, cool. So I won't get into that too much, but absolutely, you guys should all start receiving things from these. All right. Okay, chat's blowing up. I'm going to try to do my best here. But yeah, reverse debts, karma. But yeah, listen, the idea of karma. So just so you guys know, the great divine director, soul aspect of him, stepped into my field. I'm a soul infused walk-in. Longer story, you can look it up all over the YouTube channels. But the great divine director stepped into my field right back in June, and he's actually in charge of the karma board. And one of the things he told me is the idea of humans having to serve karma is done. It's done, because karma slows the ascension process, and the ascension is more important than the karmic field wrapped around it. So they're releasing the idea of having to serve it. So don't hold on to the idea you have karma anymore. It's a story. Release it. Okay. What else we got going on here? Let me scroll up a little higher here. Sorry, I'm trying to do all my thing. Black heart. Black heart. Remove that. Oh yeah, ancestral, but past life. Again, there's no story with this. This is just the root anchor of that. Traumatic patterns. Clear. Dissolve. Rebuild. Back pain. I'll do the whole back. I'm going to go on here till about quarter till, roughly. Let's have some fun. I know you guys on Instagram, I actually can't see the chats, but if you guys are in the YouTube, I'm able to actually look at those. Just a heads up, right? I'm trying to do my best with the Instagram, but YouTube is actually where I'm kind of looking at my stuff. The back pain. I'll pull that out. So many emotions with that. Dissolve. Rebuild. Again, we're dissolving those energetic disturbances in the field and rebuilding them with your frequency. The one that's healed. Pull that down. Relax it back. Somebody got a left elbow issue. What's all this magic doing? Three contracts, dissolve, distortions, rebuild. You got a couple days for relief, but it's coming. You guys want a third eye opening? Everyone wants that. All right, what the hey, right? Usually you'll feel some pumping and thumping there. Heart wall, shoulder dislocation. I'm not sure what shoulder that is. What do you do? Financial blocks are preventing you from looking for a relationship? Oh, maybe we'll just do some blockage release now for everyone. We're just going to drop in and I'm going to clear some of those abundance blockages. I rather use the word abundance, right? Because abundance is more broad. Tariara tariara shiro kare shiro kare kalmero kanore kashkuro garbarero autoriaro kare shiro tir tiriara takarero kashkuro kore balera alero kare kalera shiro tir niya takarero kare bako kalmero kare kalera kale shiro tia kerme barero kare kalera alera ariaro autoriaro shiro to kalmero kare shiro to kalmero kashkuro kalmero kalera kalora shiro to kalmero kanore kashkuro to me barero kare kalera kalera shiro tariaro toriaro kare barera kare shiro to shiro kalera shiro takamale to kalmero shiro to kalmero kare barera the layer mariaro the shiro to the shiro da malera malero shiro to the kirata rebuild Pkshinita. Nariara Tariara Malero Tari, Shiro to Gurabaka, Marka Marka, Shiro to Kabariara, Shiro to Gumadu to Kamadu, Shiro to Kabaki, to Kabaki, Karamabariaro, Shiro to Gurabadu, Kamadu, Shariaro, Shiro to Rashira, Takari, or Shiro Remakira, Malero Taro, Tomadioro, Pabayari. Can I remove the pin in your feet and lower legs? I don't know if that's a physical thing. I don't do that. If you mean like the pins and needles, I could do that, but I don't understand the question, so I can't really do that. Overwhelming tiredness. Let's go ahead and work on the cells of the body. Again, just a few more minutes here, folks. We're having fun. But at the end of the day, we're moving your energy, right? This really is about the love, those higher frequencies, right? We remove the distortions in our body, we feel better. Let me ask you this. How easy it is to love someone when you're in pain all the time? Yeah, makes it a little more difficult, doesn't it? You got to love the self too. Hold on. Cellular structure. Pariaro Karesh mitochondria, please. Pariaro Karesh, activate. Shamalero, Sharamalero, Garashirata, Sharamalero, Daria, Kile, Shiretia, Lariaro, Shiruto, pull it down on the body. Kurmalera Yariaro to Shuruto Kurmalera Kanish, Malero, Kariata, Kinmeria Sheridaria, Shuruto, Malero, Shuruto, Malero, Tori, Colabalera, Kinmeria Shiritacaleri, Kinmeria Shikalaria, to Shuruko Malero, Malero, Alatariara, Shiritori, Shirita, Mayaroto, Comaniaro, Nashinetiariaro, no, Toriata, uterus. Moriano to Shirato, Mariaro, Tomaro, Parano, Canero, Canochicoro, Canado, Puria, to Camalaria. Sharma Bariara Coreshiro to Coreshikaramere to Coreshikaramero Caramaleria Regerishida to Coronatoria, Orialo Tariaro to Reshiro to Coreshikaramaliano Canandikishiniki, Kinimebe Kanishkan and the Cortication Badino Calalia Tishina, Caliaro Shiro to Maria, Oreshiro ta Mariaro no Mashiata. We just got down to the bottom here, folks. Mariano Shinatiria, drink a lot of water. All right. Maria Shinato no Kamalario no Shiro to. Mariano Toria. Well, we can remove heart walls. I don't understand the definition of heart walls, right? We just did a lot of heart clearing. So we'll do the last one here. Well, maybe not the last one, but pretty close to it, which is the gut constipation. So I'm going to work on the stomach, small intestine, large intestine, of all those conditions for everyone, right? So hold on up here. And again, check out the chat. The team is in there telling you about all the different catalog items that work on these things as well. So if I'm not able to get to you, that can help you as well. Hold on. Digestive. Shaliara Torre Shiro Corredish Canota Caramalero Carishko Malera Cariaro Carishiro Camalero Canotic Caramalera Shaliaro Camalero Malariato O Malaria Tirishiro Torre Shira Tariara Tariara Carapariaro Shumuroshikur the Kidishina Tikinoshko Notica Malaria Condition Malera Malera National Panero Manetic to dissolve Pakireta Kishinata open them up. Pariaro corredor que chegou com Mario Careta, Careta, Correio, Correio, Maria Conete, come Shara Malero open wider. Pariaro Shoro, Pariaro, Cosciroto, Don Mario Cosciroto, Mario Capeshiro, no Sonoto Capeto, Maricama, Kilometer, Kitiatica, rebuild, Pashiliarta, and then pull that low gold down, Kalasharia. All right, cool. That's the full digestive tract. Mariano Cariano, Mariano Chino, Doyaro, Bariara Taria. All right, we're going to make this. I already did the mitochondrial function back a moment ago here. Mariano Canashino to Mario Toshino to Mayata. And then, hold on a second here. I lost my thought here. Healing of left ankle pain, Parishina to Komayata. Open that up. She could pull those out. Complicated. Contract on. Dissolve. Polishino distortion. Rebuild. All right, guys. The list could go on forever, right? But this is what this is. Show for the YouTube lives. This is the free stuff, right? The social media, the Instagrams, all of these things. But more importantly, admit to yourself, if you're feeling the shift and the change in your energetic field, you've seen it showing up in your life, right? Show up for more. Again, use your discernment, whether it be me or anybody else, right? This is the way you can shift your field rapidly and begin changing your life for the better, right? The more distortions we remove, the happier our body is, the more life shows up in amazing, amazing ways. So with that being said, check the website out, kenleyofficial.com. Everything's over there. And much love. This was fun. Same time, same place, next Thursday. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.